morning, good morning. I say good morning all the time. I understand. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, everything. um, Tonight is a little different. It's gonna be like the last one. I'm reading one of the stories that I have on here. Oh, we got the guests coming in. Hello, hello. so, so,
Hey, Izzii.
how are you?
Excellent. Pets.
Yes,
You
pets,
guys are going to love this one. This one
pets.
is really, really amazing. I had the privilege of getting a preview of this. So, extras in the room.
It's probably gonna be a little bit better than the last one, but you know.
Yes. Well, that's what happens. You practice, and you're practicing on stage. You're doing practicums. You're just getting up there and you're
Yeah.
doing these readings, and that's it. And you're just getting better and better each time that you do them. So, Mr. Two Extras here,
Thank you.
so he
Thank you
came
very
over
much.
right away as well.
Hey, extra.
And so, all the listeners out there, yes, you're right about that. Extra Breakout is a great app, man. It's pretty cool, and it's in beta stage, man. We're the first ones up inside there. So, for those listening here, of course, as you know, this is Storytime with Izzii, presented by Sarah Del Valle. I am co-hosting Hakeem Ali Bokus Alexander, and today you get the privilege and the honor of hearing an original written by Sarah Del Valle. It's called Pets, and I love the. I got in late on the one she read earlier, but it was really, really great, and I'm going to need to get a private reading of that one too, but a personal reading. But yes, uh, the poem is great. So you're in for a treat. So listen out. Without further ado, Sarah Del Valle reads Pets.
Pets by Izzii. They were not them. It was as if they had never known me. My thought wanders thinking, "Are you guys okay?" I asked. The only thing that could come out of their mouths was a weird groaning and grunting sound. That's when I definitely knew that there was something wrong. Walking away, I heard a noise behind me as if someone was following. Looking behind me, I see my friends, the ones from before, coming from around the corner. I walked faster. All I wanted to do was get home and see my parents to make sure they're okay, at least. Everyone that I bumped into or ran into me made the same sound as my circle did. I couldn't figure out what exactly was going on. The more that sound came out from anywhere, the more my skin was crawling. I hope that my parents are not like everyone else around town. That would kill me, thinking about the worst and the best scenarios possible. The house is right there. I could see the top of the house. I started running towards it, hoping I can get there fast enough. It was as if I was running slower than usual, like you're in a dream. The very moment that I stepped into the house, an eerie feeling blows right past me, like the AC was on blast. Only part about that is that the AC was off. As my body gets stuck, my feet can't move and my heart races. I hear my parents coming out from their room. My parents hold on to me tight, crying. "Mija, we're so glad you're home. We've been worried about you," my mom says. Could it be that this may be the end of a natural disaster? What's so natural about zombies or walkers? My brain starts racing. Do you know what's going on out there? I saw people that I knew groaning at me like they were admired about something that I had on. It was the freakiest time that I had to ever experience in my life so far. I was almost followed all the way here. I had to cut through a shortcut that I found forever ago just so I wouldn't get anyone to come over, I told them. My dad replies to me, "Here, sit down. We can explain the most that we know at least." They both go on and on about how something was taking over the world, basically. All they want to do is eat you up and then they can come back to normal, but only for a certain period of time. Is that possible? So, in other words, there are humans that turn into walking zombie until they fresh living human, and then they become human while the one that they ate is now dead. I asked my dad, so how long are they human until they turn back into zombie-looking creatures? He shrugged his shoulders. Well, I guess that means that there is no more getting out until this whole craziness is out and about away from here, as my mind jumps to 500 million things all at once, trying to process the whole ordeal. We boarded up the windows and doors. No one was getting into our safe place one bit. We sat there and waited a little bit before we felt it was okay to head into the room. No sounds came out anywhere. We discovered that we made a soundproof and zombie-proof house for this time. We made sure that all lights were off so that no strangers can get in. No one in our house, and no one leaves the house. However long it takes, sticking together is how it's made. The next morning, we realized that nothing is going on outside. The backyard is the most horrific scene being seen. All the, whatever the population of them is, zombies or walkers were laying there, lying on the floor, still making that stupid groaning sound. I turned around and my parents were staring at me the same way I was being stared at coming to the house. Not thinking about it, I asked my parents, did you know that our backyard is infested with these things? They don't get that we are not food anymore. Both of them looked at me with this conniving grin on their face and replied, yes, we know. We hired them to become one of us. You see, they are not regular people like you. You aren't even one of us at all. Don't worry though, you will be very soon. You close your eyes, it'll be done sooner than you hope. I screamed my lungs and my heart out, trying to leave or escape any way possible. I only forgot that we all boarded everything so good to the point that there is absolutely no way to get out unless we break out the board. I had no way of thinking that this is really real. They both acted completely normal, which sucks. They looked at me like I was food to them, which I apparently was. I was worried about them more than me because they were my parents and I didn't know how I was going to survive anything that was going on. I guess you just do what you have to do. I don't care anymore. You guys are seriously sick and twisted. I thought I was your family. They both looked at each other and then back at me. While turning their heads back to look at each other, all they can or could do was laugh in my face. It made me wonder why I wasn't like them when they had me in the first place. I guess now I'll never know. They both were able to get these things to try and get whatever they needed or wanted. They were their actual pets, and I was just the experiment. Never have to worry about taking care of me or seeing me again. Nothing and no one to this day knows what even happened after it went completely black. Everyone is now nowhere to be found or heard. The end. That was Pet.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. For all the people with the iPhones and all that
Thank you
stuff,
very much.
give her some love. I don't have those capabilities on my device, but give Sarah Devalle some love. This is an original Storytime with Izzii. Pets is written and read by Sarah Devalle, aka Izzii, and it is a magnificent piece. I am stunned by the storytelling ability. I mean, it's amazing. I am really becoming more and more of a fan every single time. I'm pleasantly surprised. I don't know where that came from, but it is some good stuff. So
it's a story that I found in my documents on my computer, and it was one of my favorite stories that I did, and I finally was able to see it in front of me, and I was just like, okay, this is perfect. It's done for. It's so done for.
What did you originally? Was it like a class project, or what did you do the writing for? Was it just something that you wanted to do? What inspired you?
It was just something that I wanted to do, and it was when I was I did it last year, and I was reading about Poe and all that stuff, and I was reading Poe stuff, and it kind of the Poe poems and the stories, they kind of inspired me. And then I was watching a lot of apocalyptic movies around the time too, and so made it to where it's like, you know, Poe apocalyptic scenes.
Yes. Yeah.
I love it. It was just because I just wanted to write it, and it was one of my best works. at least I knew that I had it on my computer and it's not written in my book. Because all the ones that were written in my
it's a
book,
pretty
they were really
good.
good too.
Yeah, I just really like the twist on the idea of what pets are in the story. So it's pretty
Yeah.
clever, pretty clever.
I got one of the first questions that I got asked when I first made the story, and I gave the first person I ever read it to or gave it to was my English teacher, my old English teacher, and she asked me, so who exactly are the pets? And I was just like, everybody's a pet. Apparently, like I'm just an experiment. Everybody's my parents' pets on there. So it's just it was kind of cool how it came out.
And what was the there was one that you had written or read earlier from one of your earlier writings. What was that?
Yeah, it's called Dinner Time Food Crimes.
That's right, Dinner Time Food Crimes. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Pretty cool name.
I have it here in my thing, and it's it was
when you say your thing,
do
you mean your playlist of your past shows, your recorded shows here on Wisdom?
No, on my computer.
Oh, okay.
And on Wisdom as well.
Okay.
Yeah. It's it was the first story that it was one of the first original stories that I read on here. And that was earlier today. So it's pretty cool.
It's a good story because when you're telling it, it's kind of playful, but at the same time I get this creepy feeling like listening to it. It's like there's something about it that's very eerie. And so it's like it gives me a very strange feeling, like listening to it. Like it's got this campy, playful feeling, like I said, but then also it's also really kind of creepy too. So I think that's actually kind of awesome.
Well, I think that was one of the things that I was trying to at least give out is I wanted this story right here, the pet story, to make it seem like people were reading a Poe story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because usually when I read it myself, it's it gives me that eerie feeling of when I'm reading Poe, and it's kind of cool. I like the feeling because it's like one of those into the seat kind of thing. Like you're waiting for something to happen, but you don't know what's going to happen. So nobody knows what happened though.
That's right. So, besides, sorry about that. So besides, what was the other one? Dinner Crime. Say that again. That's a cool title. That's fun to remember.
Dinner Time Food Crime.
Dinner Time Food Crime. That's a catchy name. And so besides Dinner Time Food Crime and this one here, Pets. What do you have any other short stories like that you've written, or are these the first two of their kind so far for you?
These are the first two of this kind because the other ones I have not finished. I'm in the process of doing a story about it's kind of like I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like it's a good feeling kind of story, but it's also it's like also eerie as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Pets, where it gives you a good feeling, but an eerie feeling. It's like, okay, I don't know what's going on. But I'm in the process of writing another one. It's not finished though yet.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how to finish it.
Yeah, take your time, but not too much. I'm sure you'll figure it out. It's the thing I'm most impressed with. I just know how difficult it is to write a book because I don't have any. I mean, I have like haiku poetry books, chapbooks, but they're organized in such a completely different way than a story like that. Even like you could say that your story is like an essay form, right? So it's not that long. It's a short story. So it's in that
Mhm.
category of stories and essays, which a lot of really well-known and and respected authors uh, did a lot of that. You know, they were essayists, and then every once in a
Yeah.
while they bust out some crazy novel or a longer story format story, or sometimes never. You know, like Edgar Allan Poe, like nothing that he's done is really extremely long, right?
Yeah. That is very true.
So let me check something else out. I was all up in
I
here last
mean,
night blaming
you said what?
wisdom. Telling us for my voice, my connectivity problems.
Don't do
Um,
that.
yeah, I know. So okay, so you have these two. There's a couple maybe you have in the works. What do you think? How do you feel about um, getting these two short stories that you have um, and putting them together as a small collection that you could either offer for sale or as a like a free gift to people?
I wouldn't mind doing that. That sounds like a fun play.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I know it's like extra. It's like more work, right? To do that, but
No, 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 no.
but
What the? Oh, Lord,
so
have
yeah,
mercy. Sorry.
what's going on? Are you
Somebody just started screaming outside in the hallway.
oh, oh, that's right. I forget you're traveling still, so you're at a hotel, right?
Yeah, I'm in the hotel
That's right.
and my parents
Yeah,
are gone. So
that's right. I totally forgot that you um been traveling. You were in Kansas for almost a week, and then you went there. So
I am in
um,
Kennesaw, Georgia.
Kennesaw, Georgia. Um,
Yeah.
and now, what about? So you've got these two short stories. What about as far as poetry goes, or anything like that? Would you be? Are you planning on, or did you have the urge? Is it something within you that wants to do shorter format poems, like maybe short, like maybe long form poems, or even just uh, shorter
I've
poems?
actually been trying to figure out how to I mean, because what I like to do when I write is I like to write stories, but I also like to write poems. So I have a couple of poems that um I like that I've done, but it's not completely completed, I guess, in another
Mm,
sense, because
yeah,
it's not, basically they seem like stories instead of poems. So I have to, rearrange some stuff, and but it's gonna. I'm hoping it's gonna come out okay.
yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
I know it's gonna
And just
it's gonna go well. You'll do great. I mean, you've got a lot of
thank
creativity,
you.
and like I said, just even the way that you structure your sentences in the story and very descriptive about what's going on. That right there, when I was the thing that impressed me the most about it is that I could see how it would be kind of uh, it, it'd be very difficult for me to get into that zone, which is why I don't have stories like that. I think I have probably a lot of long writing, but um, I discard it before I can craft it the way that you have. So yeah, I appreciate your writing style. It's pretty cool. So
Thank
um,
you very much.
I would like to see more, but
Yes, but if you um, if you want to hear the other story, the dinner time food crimes,
yes,
that title
dinner
always
time
gives
food
me the
crimes.
giggles.
Cool title.
um, oh, thank you, Mr. Extra. Though he said it was beautiful as well. Thank you so very much. Um, but for the dinner time food crime, if you want to hear that one, that is the that's an earlier, like today one that I did. So just replay it back and listen to that one, or I can do it
Yeah, go
again
to
on
her
this. But
playlist.
the playlist, replay
Yeah.
playlist.
So there might be times where we do rereads because I mean, look, I mean, Edgar Allan Poe is one of your that's one of your areas of expertise. So That's
Yeah.
going to be like one of your study tracks. So might as every once in a while doesn't hurt to give a fresh recital of Poe. And plus, it could be a recital that is in combination with other things, because there could be themes. It could be, we're going to read this one and this one, right? Or I'm going to read my two stories. Dinner time. Oh gosh, the title. What is it called again? Say it again. The
Which one? The dinner time food crimes.
dinner time. Okay, 4 words. Dinner time, food crime,
Well, actually, 3
and it
words.
rhymes. Yeah, right. Well, yeah, sure. If you make dinner time 1 word, yes, you're right. Dinner time, food crime. So we got these 3 words
Yeah.
that rhyme. So I'm going to put dinner time as 1 word, and the way I'm looking at it, I'm structuring it in a physical grid. I'm putting food crime underneath it. Dinner time, food crime. So I can remember that. All right.
Yes.
Dinner time, food crime is in Sarah Del Valle's playlist here on Wisdom. And you just heard Pets, written and read by Izzii, aka Sarah Del Valle. By the way,
That's
Sarah
me.
is a certified Edgar Allan Poe literary expert with World Reading Club, and has read several works of Edgar Allan Poe, cold readings, mind you, most of them. Some of them were rehearsed doing single read-throughs before, and doing lots of work analyzing and discussing the works of Edgar Allan Poe extensively. So there's a lot of stuff you're going to see coming out of here from Sarah.
And
And yeah.
speaking of, I will be coming back on here in just a little while to be reading The Bells by Edgar Allan Poe. His one of his poems, his poetry.
Okay.
Y'all.
All
Just
right.
gotta,
Well,
look over it first and
I'm
then gotcha.
so I'm I don't know. I think I don't have anything. Are you going to stay on here for a little while? What you doing?
I am going to sign off for a little bit and then read over the bills and come back on here and do my little poetry.
All right. Should I give them the second slice of bread?
Put the second slice of bread. Bam.
All right. You've
Mic
been
drop.
listening to Storytime with Izzii, featuring Sarah Del Valle. You've heard Pets, written and read by Izzii, aka Sarah Del Valle. I'm her co-host and moderator, Hakeem Ali Bokus Alexander. Until next time.
Until next time. Bye, y'all.
Now, before I can actually make any kind of podcast episode for you guys, I want to explain one thing. Have you guys heard about Anchor? It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain how. 1, it's free. 2, there's just many tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. And it'll distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other things like iTunes and such. You can make more money from your podcast, regardless on how much you have already. So it's like extra money. Hello, who doesn't like free money? And then, it's everything you need to make a podcast all in one spot. So whenever you can, just download the free Anchor app at, your iTunes store, your Apple store, or your Google Play store, or go to anchor.fm to get started. Thanks, y'all.